Hey everybody, we're back to O3000 concrete and we're going to take a look at the material cost this time around. So if we scroll up to the top of our spreadsheet in the detail kind of header up here, you'll notice that our materials columns are cost per unit and then the total cost. So for example, with rebar, what we're going to do here and what I've already done is I'm pricing rebar based on just an average that I've come up with, and that's 75 cents a lineal foot. So we could add more columns, but I don't want to make this any more complex than we have to. So look, if I have a 20-foot length of rebar, which is what this one is, and I multiply that 20 by 0.75 or 75 cents a foot, I'm going to end up with $15. So $15 times 52 is $7.80. So again, if we come up here and we highlight the cost to sell for 20-foot number 4 rebar, you'll notice up here that it's B6 times D6 is what that sell is equal to. So I have $780 of number 4 20-foot rebar. Now if I take the number 5, now keep in mind that number 5 is what, a 5/8 inch diameter bar, number 4 is 1/2 inch, number 6 is a 3/4 inch diameter. Again, the number 5 is a lot bigger in diameter than a 4, and a 6 is a lot bigger than a 5. So those weigh more, and rebar is sold typically by the ton. But again, it's easier, and I think you'll get closer if you just use 75 cents a foot. So and that's what I've done with this. So if I take 3.5 times 0.75, I end up with 263. If I have 5 foot times 0.75, I end up with 375. Now for the dowels, I have a 9-inch by 27-inch dowel. So that's going to be 36 inches. 36 inches, 3 foot times 0.75 is 250. But I'm going to add $1 per bend. So I've got a 90-degree dowel there. One leg, the short leg's 9 inches, and the longer leg is 27 inches. So I've added $1 for the bend. And same thing with this. Number 6, a little bit heavier, but we're going to use the same unit cost for that. And in the end, this actually works out pretty well. So if you follow with me and just remember that your rebar, if you base it off of 75 cents a foot and use that as an average, it'll come out pretty close today. Don't do this tomorrow, just for this project. So for the masonry, I'm doing the same thing, and you'll see here that 20 foot by 0.75 or 75 cents is $15. We can run this all the way down till we get to I'm sorry, let's go back up to square ties. Square ties, we're just going to do a per unit cost of those at $3.50. And then if we come down to anchor bolts, we're at $2 a piece on those. My washers are 24 cents, and my nuts are 24 cents on that. So all you do is plug in the cost per unit, and it'll multiply it by each unit, the number, and it'll give you the total cost for those line items. So we're going to use for this project 6.5% tax, so 6.5. And you'll notice that this, if I have my total is going to be right here in my subtotal, and you can see up here in the formula, it's the sum of E6 to E23. And then if I take this number and multiply it by the sales tax, I get $400. And so my total material cost for rebar is $6,559. So that's just the material cost. My labor cost is over on this side. So let's go down a little bit further here to footings and foundation labor. So again, I don't have, this is labor only. So my labor costs are these 4 columns over here. My labor costs per hour, my unit hour is 50 cents. And my cost per hour is 57. So 57 times 850 is 485. And my labor for footings and foundation labor is 4,820. So on this one, I don't have sales tax. I'm not buying materials. I'm only going to have sales tax when I have a material cost. And again, our sales tax amount is 6.5%. So let's go down to concrete. So to keep this easy, I used $99 per cubic yard. So for my continuous footing F1, I've got 17 yards at $99. That's $1,683. My spread footing F3, 1.2 yards. F2 is 5 yards. You kind of see how this works. So my total concrete cost is, my subtotal is $2,297. That gets multiplied by 6.5%, 149 in taxes. Those two added together, we end up with 2,446. So you kind of see how this works. The labor cost over here doesn't come into play. All right? Does not come into play at all. So just footings and foundation concrete. So this item here, we're just talking about the concrete only. So here's a slab and the floor labor. So again, I'm not figuring out my slab cost here in terms of the materials, but it's just strictly the labor cost. So we don't have sales tax on labor. Here's my slab and floor concrete, 47.5 yards times 99 is $4,703. I have tax on the concrete, so I end up with a total of $5,008 for that material. So let's go back, and I want to just kind of jump ahead here. So I am finished with this worksheet on concrete. Now I'm asking you guys to, if you need clarification on material costs, stuff like that, we're going to try to use the same costs, like rebar, for example, 75 cents a foot. Concrete is going to be $99 a cubic yard. So I'm gonna give you things like that as we work through this over the next couple weeks, and it'll probably just be in a summary sheet or a piece to you as I work through this myself. So, all right, you can see where I'm at down here. I've got a detail here, I've got a summary, and I'm just now starting to add my sheets, pull my sheets together. So I'm going to go back here, and I want to go to the summary concrete, concrete rebar, and I want to come up here just a little bit. I want to show you quickly how this works. So material in terms of rebar, I'm going to copy a cell up to that, over to that that spot over there. So my rebar cost is this right here, and let's see here. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to come over. All I'm going to do is highlight the cell, and then come over here, highlight this cell in the materials column, and then hit enter. Nope. Sorry. I'm going to do a Control C, copy, and then I'm going to come back here, and then hit enter. And of course it didn't work. I just had this all lit up here. Equals. Let's do the equals here, and then go over here and There we go. So I apologize for not knowing Excel as well as I should, but so I'm in the labor column now for rebar. So if we go back to 03,000, and my labor for rebar is going to be right over here, and I'm going to hit enter. Oh, sorry. Control C. The summary is just enter. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to hit equals in here and then enter. Now, boy, this is bad. Sorry about that. I'll do a control C. And then equals, enter. I'm supposed to make this thing light up. And okay.